Hi, I'm back. If you're seeing this right now, it means that my last interview has been finished and uploaded, which actually did decent. So I thank you all for that. And while you're at it, why don't you check out the Tails Get Strolled interview, which is my last interview, which is in the little eye in the top right. Isn't that fantastic?
Shut up and get to the point!
After that last interview, me and my friend, Manuel D, were discussing a few ideas on who to do next. We tossed around a few ideas until he brought up BBpanzu, and I'm like, yeah, fucking pigs could fly, and he responded in this phone, follows over. He kept insisting, so I shot a DM, and...
See if this one does anything.
Let's introduce him. BBpanzu is a YouTuber who mainly posts Friday Night Funkin' content. These videos are mods made usually on his own from all the code, animation, and art. If you've been on FNF YouTube, chances are you've seen one of his mods or OCs, as he's been around the community since fall 2021. And if you want something different, he's also dabbled in other fandoms like Homestuck and MLP, making subsequent animations. Plus songs, forgot to mention that. These take a lot of time to produce, so please consider to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Because of this being a long video, I would have added timestamps in the description, but apparently you need 1,000 subs. Okay, so the comments will do. That's all from me. Enjoy the interview. Hello, we are back yet again in an interview. So last time we did Tails Get Strolled, V4, the devs, we did Echolocated, and I forgot his name. What was his name? It was
George Washington.
George Washington, yeah. And this time, miraculously, I just DM'd him, and he just said yes, which I was surprised. But anyway, we were joined by BBpanzu. So say hi, BBpanzu.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. I'm doing alright as well, honestly. It's sunny out here, but I'm surviving. So while we were all getting ready for this about a week ago, I came up with 30 questions on Google Docs to ask him right here, and it's all been approved. It's all good to go. And just as well, for this recording, we can't force you to say any answers. There are some parts of the interview that you might not even be able to say if there's like NDAs or something like that, or you're just it's a long story, things like that. So that's just to say as well. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. You ready to go, Manuel? That silence is a yes. So yeah, basically, he's so excited they fell apart. Alright, here we go. Okay, so question one. So what were you doing before Friday Night Funkin'?
I was making a fan game of a Broadway musical called Be More Chill. You can see a demo up on my Newgrounds. It's like an updated demo of like what I was doing before. But yeah, pretty much that's all I was doing with my time. It was either that or high school, so.
There's also like the animations you did like beforehand on YouTube, like, and it's like that's my birthday videos that as well, because that was before FNF as well.
Yeah, I did do a lot of animations before. I was usually just doing them for fun. I had an idea, I wanted to post it, and that was pretty much all I was doing.
So yeah, that's pretty good. So question two. I don't know if I got an answer because you said this, and I got this from your channel Q&A, but how did you get your name BBpanzu?
It in fact isn't a long story, apparently. It just took years to figure out how to summarize it. I just stole my mom's Gmail.
Wait, you stole your mom's what?
My mom's Gmail.
Your mom's Gmail. That's actually, I didn't expect that response. Super sick though.
Yeah.
See, I was expecting like some like long like response, like, oh, it's like my friend told me this and I came up with this and I wrote it all down and I did all this. No, it was just mom's Gmail.
I don't know why I complicated it back then. It was pretty much that simple. I think I was gonna say like, oh well, my mom had this Gmail and her name's this and that, and I was like, okay, well I want this and that, but I wanted to name myself Rain Brony, but I only had BBpanzu at the time, and then one day I just decided to embrace the BB part, and then yada yada yada, and then blah blah blah, and then
it's long text.
I stole my mom's Gmail.
And like it's like a really big name in the FNF community now. It's actually so insane. I hope your mom's proud that her Gmail name is like a big name, it's like a big icon in the fucking community.
Yeah, she is pretty proud.
So yeah, so that leads into question three. So how did you get into Friday Night Funkin' in the first place?
I was on Instagram one day, scrolling through people's stories. I had my friend Mo. She made Friday Night Funkin' fan arts and posted on her story. This was at the time when like Week 2 wasn't even out. At the time, it was just a Ludum Dare demo. So when I saw it, I saw the characters. I was like, this is cute. I'm gonna go check it out. I saw it on itch.io. I played it. It's one of the only Flash games I've ever played like for more than 2 days. So that really tells you how much I was really into it.
Right. And then from there, you started playing the game and you liked it, and then you started making content on it, and now just everything just happened there.
Yeah, the modding thing actually, I kind of like, when I found out you could download the game, I think this was around when week 2 came out, there was a PC build, so I was able to play it, you know, without the limitations of a web browser, so I could actually run the game properly, or as properly as you can on a 4-bit RAM, whatever. But as soon as I looked through the files, I realized how unencrypted everything was. It was pretty much just out there for you to edit all the sprites, all the XMLs. I noticed like all those sprites definitely did look like they were made in Flash. So I knew that like I kind of just discovered how to basically mod the game. I just looked at the sprites. I found the FLAs apparently since it was on GitHub. And then when I edited the boyfriend FLAs to make him have green hair, that's what started it all. Green-haired boyfriend, my very first mod.
Yeah, because I was gonna be like, it's maybe like a certain mod that actually like inspired, because like I remember I started like watching and playing FNF and I think it was March 2021 because of Versus Whitey, and I saw Ballistic and I'm like, that looks so cool, he's so angry and it looks so batshit insane, and I was like, okay, I gotta play this, I gotta try this out, and I started watching videos and I started looking at mods, and it all went from there. But yeah, green-haired boyfriend, that's sick.
It was actually like really early. It was like during the early modding days. I'm talking like,
Yeah.
keep in mind, this was before like Witty. This was before B-sides. This is like back when the most impressive mod was like Sans over Spooky Kids.
Yeah, see, I remember that. That was like 2020. There was like there was the Sans mod. I remember that was the Papyrus mod. There was the Back Down to, like, I think it was Back to the Bone the song was called, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I remember that. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. What was your reaction to like all of like the praise you were getting of like your OC mods like Carol and like the golf minigame?
Well, for starters, Carol, when I first posted her, I didn't really get reception because I only posted her on Game Banana, and then I just kind of fucked off afterwards. And then one day, my brother was like, "You should post your mods on YouTube," and I was like, "Nah, it doesn't really fit my content style," because at the time it was just animations or stuff like that. So I was like, it didn't fit my content style. I don't know. And then one day I just did it, and then I got like so many fucking views, and everyone loved it. I remember there's like one specific comment back in the days that really like stuck with me. It was like a lack of black characters in Funkin. I think there still is today. But when someone like commented like how great they felt because like a character looked like them, and they don't see that a lot, it made me happy.
Yeah.
Knowing that like I had that sort of impact on somebody.
It's like your first good comment, and it's like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah. So that's pretty much, that comment's pretty much why I do the shit that I do.
Yeah.
You know, making people happy, making them feel seen, I guess.
Yeah, because like, a lot of people like got into FNF because of your mods, I'm pretty sure. Because again, I remember Carol back then. People must have like seen Carol and then like they looked into it a bit more, and it just go from there. So yeah, I think you've certainly done that. You've certainly done that, which is awesome. Yeah. So question 5: when you made all those mods back then, like the early days of FNF, are there any of them back then that you really don't like to the point where you want to redo them?
That I want to redo them.
Yeah. I mean, you can redo them, or just like you just don't like them.
Redo them, or I don't like them.
So this is like Tord. I won't say that one that we all know that's the drama one, so I'm gonna exclude that one. But there's Tord, there's Mommy, there's Old Carol ones. I mean, there's version 1 on Holiday, but there's Holiday V2, so we'll ignore that.
A lot of mods that I did want to improve, I already have. Like Sunday, they're just like this over Daddy Dear's character who made screamo music, and it was like one song, and I wanted to flesh out the character. But like nowadays, I think the only one that I'd ever want to like improve is like Momi. I don't know if that's like, I mean, it's like one of my early ones, depending on what you consider early.
I guess they're a little bit early, like not as early as like Tord and that kind of stuff, but like it was kind of still there.
Yeah, Tord I made in like 5 hours. I
You
guess.
made it a little stream. It's a really outdated mod and that kind of stuff.
Like the Tord mod, I think it's like probably my least favorite, but not to the point where I feel like I want to improve it, because I like how it kind of just shows where I came from.
Yeah.
So I don't like changing like the past and stuff, because then it just feels like I'm just like retconning my own history. So I like how bad Tord mod was in terms of quality, I guess, just to pretty much show, yeah, I made shit music too. I mean, I was trying speedcore, and coming from a guy who's like only listened to speedcore like for like 20 minutes at the time, I tried to replicate it, but yeah, Torbot sucks ass. But I think I like the fact that it sucks ass.
I used to love the instrumental of okay, picture this. That's a huge sidetrack, but picture this, right? Literally back then, like I was like, once all of my exams were done in school, right, and I literally had nothing to do. The teachers, that's because of COVID, right? We had literally nothing to do. It was the Norske, I think Norway. No, it was Norway. It was the Norway instrumental. I'm like, this is actually really, really good. So I started listening to like the fucking Norway instrumental back then, and I'm like, people around me are gonna think I'm fucking insane for listening to this kind of music. Because back then, even then, like if you tell someone like a Friday Night Funkin' song, like it's and have not seen it, they will look at you really funny. So I was trying to like, basically it was like I was trying to keep my music down so I wouldn't go through my earbuds, but like I was loving it back then. I was loving it.
Thanks. It's definitely one of my like creative instrumentals.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Is there any videos you want to remake? So this can be like post like FNF, or like even like recently, or more like the one I'm focusing on, like more like back before FNF.
Videos. There's one, Naruto Middle School. I always imagine just like remastering it, maybe with like better writing or like better quality. So at the time, I made Naruto Middle School when I was first touching Flash. So that whole show, or that whole episode, was like a learning experience. Like I was learning skewing, tweening, all the squash and stretch shit. If I look at the old FLA,
oh god,
Naruto Middle School.
Yeah, like I was looking through your channel like while I was making these questions. I have not found this, but okay, you made a lot of videos before. You made a lot of videos. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I have not even seen any of these in my life before. Right, okay, I'm scrolling through. Kara versus Sans sprite animation. I can't even find it, honestly. Holy shit. I remember saw like one of these Undertale. No, I've not. Oh my god. Yeah, you went a long way. Jesus. There's a lot of... Oh, I found it. Naruto mini shorts, just a bit unusual. I found it.
Oh no, it's even further than that.
God. Oh my Jesus Christ.
Should be Naruto Middle School episode 1. That's the one I want to remake.
Naruto Middle School theme. Oh, this is a fucking... I didn't even... Right, I'm not gonna be here all day, but yes, you remake that. Usually, like, what? How many subs you have right now? Let me just check how many subs you have. Like, that's like a milestone.
How many subs do I have now?
You're 504,000, which is fucking insane to think about, by the way. But like, but basically, you could make a remake for like 600,000.
I could.
Maybe
I might do a fucking million, because I think that might be more. It'll give me more time, I guess.
Oh yeah, okay, that's an unrelated question, right? Which I'm just gonna throw in because I just thought of it right there. But do you have a silver play button?
I do not.
Do you want to get one?
I think before I did, but like, I don't know, I don't really care about it too much. Plus, I don't know where I'd put it. Like my room, it doesn't really have any shelves, and my dorm definitely doesn't have any place where I can hang it up. So I think it'd be more like a hassle, really. But yeah, I kind of just have my channel to show for it. I don't really need like a physical thing.
So we're finally with the sidetracking. So question 6. So out of all of your OCs which you've made, which one is your favorite?
Out of all my OCs?
Yes.
I'm
mainly focusing on the FNF ones, but if you really want to like, if you want to surprise me, you can just do anything.
Let's see. Honestly, Sunday is one I think about a lot. Mostly because they're my most interesting character that I've ever made, that I've actually like fleshed out, like in terms of lore and like personality and relationships and such. A lot of my other OCs I either made up like for a story, or I didn't really dig deep past their lore or whatever. But yeah, Sunday I think has to be my favorite OC.
Okay, this one's gonna show up in fucking London, I swear to God, right? But okay, so a while ago, Ninja Muffin stated on like a Reddit AMA that he considered making Carol canon. So could you give any possible update to that? But you can skip this if it's like, if you sign like an NDA or something like that.
Okay, well, if I say it's an NDA, then it pretty much would confirm it.
See,
But,
I was writing that, and I'm like, if he says something like past, people are like, oh, it's definitely happening. But you can just say, yeah.
No, Ninja Muffin hasn't like contacted me, or Phantom Arcade. They haven't contacted me about like putting Carol in the game. I'm pretty sure like before Kickstarter, they probably would have like referenced her in like some sort of week or something, or like have like a cameo or whatever, like as a funsy thing. I don't think she would be like if they were to put her in like base game right now, I don't think she would have her having like an entire week.
Yeah,
she'd probably be like a cameo.
Yeah, I've got a lot of planned and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So question 8, who is Arch? Well, actually, I know this question, but it's just for everyone else who doesn't know, because there was a song of him back then. Yeah.
Arch. So they're based off my hacker. Not only my hacker, but apparently Scott Cawthon's hacker. They hacked Scott's Game Jolt, which to me I think is really cool. Not the hacking part, but the fact that I was hacked by the hacker of Scott Cawthon. It's kind of flattering how like I was worthy of that hacker. It's like I'm like a really big celebrity is like fucking angry at you specifically. Like makes a big deal about it. It's like, am I really worth your anger? That's actually kind of flattering.
Girl, I'm very angry at you making Carol. This is not acceptable by any standards.
Wow. Thank you so much, Zendaya.
What was it? Yeah, how did they hack you?
It was really easy. I had the same password for literally everything.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And I didn't have two-factor authentication. See, at the time, I didn't have a platform when I made all that shit. So I never really worried about anyone hacking me, because I was like, who's gonna hack little old me? I'm just a little old guy. Who cares about little old me? I gained a platform, and, everyone knows who I am. Not everyone, but,
A lot of people in the FNF community know who you are. Like, I'd say about 90% odd.
Yeah. A lot of people know who I am, which means there's going to be a lot of people who dislike me. So in that portion of people who dislike me are probably going to be people who, I don't even think Ark disliked me per se. I remember his reason was just like, I want to see the FNF community burn or whatever. So I think he just did it as a jokey joke, but it was a very stressful weekend when that happened.
I'm sorry.
So I can laugh at it now.
Yeah. So question 9, it's been updated and that kind of stuff before. It's kind of been back and forth, but is Sunday and Carol still dating?
I don't think that they are. Like, I remember I took away the part that they broke up. Because I didn't really feel like there was a reason for that. I couldn't really think of a reason why they would break up. I think I always felt it would be better if they were just like together. I'm starting to think like maybe not like dating in a traditional sense where it's like kissing and like going out and such. Maybe it's like one of those like queer platonic shits.
Interesting. Yeah, so Aleki's been dating.
Yeah. Because even if, when I imagine them dating, it doesn't really feel accurate. But them being just friends, I also don't feel is accurate enough.
Yeah, maybe got the broken up part of like the whole like Pico is boyfriend's ex, and you thought you can like clicked it there.
Yeah, I just never really felt like the X bit was not even necessary, but I just couldn't. I made it up at the time because I wanted them to be related in some sort of fashion, but I felt like. Break up? I don't know. So I just I probably just made them like a queer platonic thing. Maybe kisses here and there. Casual sex.
So, So question 10. What are your thoughts on some of the fan-made content based on mods? So this is like the Tor Remastered. It's actually, I think it's called Tor Legacy Edition by Jason the Art Kid. And any like lyrical adaptations to your songs. So like, let's just say like Santa, The Date Night, things like, those ones.
Oh, those, I like those. I'm always a fan of like when people like take my ideas and then take them and like make them into something else because that means that they liked my shit, and I like when people like my shit.
Yeah.
So when I saw like Tord Remastered, I was like, okay, so there are people who want to see the Tord mod expanded. I, for one, don't feel like expanding it, but that's why I like mods like Tord Remastered and Red Fury and stuff like that. because they're like fan works. I always like fan works. So
Yeah, I think that's pretty
and,
cool.
like the date, was it like the BBpanzu's date week? The date night.
No, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's in the like really fucking deep in my head, but I can probably find it if I try to. Yeah, because there's a lot of date ones that are like inspired from Carl and Way.
Yeah, those make me happy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so you kind of discussed this a little bit before, but this was like the big question in my head. So question 11, do you have any involvement with the base game?
I do not. You're not the first person to think that, actually.
I know, honestly.
I get this question a
so.
lot.
Yeah.
Like, with my friends, they always ask like, "Are you on base game?" I know you're on base game, and I'm like, I am not on base game. Even if they asked me to, even if Ninja Muffin begged on his knees, crying in a pool of tears, like, "Please, BBpanzu, you have to be on this game," I would say no. Mostly because I enjoy being a fan of Friday Night Funkin' rather than a contributor to it.
It's interesting. Why is that?
Just being a fan of something just is like I get to be surprised when things come out. I get to like when stuff come out. Like being a creator of something big, I think it also puts a pressure on like I don't want to disappoint anyone or whatever. I can't disappoint the fans or I can't like be like this. I like being on the other side of that, like the receiving end of the content, because it's like a whole nother realm sort of.
Yeah, because I was sitting there with like the whole like people assume so, because like I'd say you're one of the biggest names, like top 3 biggest names in the community, right? And I've heard people like I can never say his name, Dozen Rise or whatever his name is, like one of the posher devs. Like he's reportedly, well he's reported like he might be in the team because they're contacting him. Sasha might be on the team because of like Roses Erect and that kind of stuff. Who else honestly is maybe in the base game? I don't think so. I don't think there'd be anyone else I'm thinking right now. They have said before, we got this person from the community that's gonna be super cool. They have said before there was the guy that did the Jet Set Radio. That like, well, but the thing is, well, we have not said it, but people speculated it's the guy from Jet Set Radio that's composing.
They deconfirmed that. I think like when people were like theorizing like who was the secret musician, a lot of people were like, it's got to be Naganuma or. But yeah, they deconfirmed it was Hideki.
Damn.
Like, yeah. I feel like I always like when they deconfirm shit because it's like then it makes it more surprising. Because I feel like Hideki would have been way too obvious of a choice.
Yeah.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like Hideki like as the first choice. I think one, he's super huge. They probably could afford him, but I think they'd probably get like someone more niche.
Yeah, yeah, it would be cool, but like, yeah, I do know what you mean. But yeah, so there's like Sasser and Dozen Rise, but we'll see what happens with like that. So, but I'm quite surprised you've not been contacted. So question 12, this is kind of related, but is the Funkin team interacted with you much? I think you said no before, but you can just say it again.
The only person on the team I've interacted with at least once, was Dave and Cam. With Cam, I've talked to a few times over Discord, because in the early days, I was like the only modder, so he followed me on Discord, said he liked my stuff. And then recently, like I made a game with some friends on Newgrounds, and my friend just decided to put him in the group chat, and that's when we started talking. And just one day, just one fateful day, Cam joined the call and Dave was there, and then that was the first and last time I've ever interacted with Dave. Which was
what you said, a few weeks ago or something like that?
It was like, I want to say like 2 months ago.
2 months ago, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good, just random ass call. I think that's happened like a few times with like random people that I've like seen, like, oh, that's a popular person. I'm in a call with him now. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only imagine. I was wearing like 2 layers of shirt that day, and I was like fucking sweating when I just heard Dave's voice.
Oh,
but, like if you heard my voice, I sounded all chill, so like, oh, hey Dave. But I was like pooling, drenched in like sweat down my armpits.
Oh yeah, I could honestly relate to that. I've had that with like big people. I mean, I'm not really that big in the community. I've got like 400 followers, right? I'm hoping like these videos that will boost me a good bit. But like I've yet to experience that, and when I do, oh Christ, I'm gonna be a nervous wreck. It's gonna be so fucking insane. So question 13 is kind of out of the NDA kind of stuff. So question 13. What mod is that the quickest development? Now, that's probably an easy answer considering the chat we've had like 10 minutes ago, which was Tord. That was in 5 hours. Is there anything that's like quicker than Tord?
Momi. The first version of Momi I made for a tutorial video. That took 3 hours.
I mean, there was that one with the Psych Engine video, but that wasn't finished. I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, that I mean, like if you just take like song chart character, if you consider that like a basic mod, I guess I finished it, but technically the sprites were done like a year prior.
Yeah.
So
same moment.
I wouldn't consider it. Yeah.
That's about 3 hours, God. So question 14 is the opposite. What mod has had the longest development?
The longest development of mine, right? I'd have to say Funkin is Magic. That one took about a year to make.
That's probably like your biggest in terms of content, I'm pretty sure. Like a year. So when did you start making it?
I made it, I think, I know it was like right after Sunday. So that one was like July. No, Sunday came out in like the very end of June, and Pinky started development in like July.
Yeah.
And July 2021, and it came out February. No, it was it February or April? I think it was April or May of like 2022.
Yeah, just right about.
Yeah, it was May. It was May of 2022 because that's when I was graduating. That's when it came out.
Yeah. So yeah, May 2022. Yeah, I can expect that because it was. It's probably your biggest mod, so that kind of makes sense. You think anything would like top that in terms of time, or like is that like
in terms of time?
Like in the future, like you think, or is that kind of like as big as you'll go?
That's probably gonna be. I like for that to be like a threshold of mine because I don't want to spend too much time on a project.
Yeah, because you do a lot of one-shot mods and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I like doing one-shot mods.
Yeah,
but it's usually for like things that I really, really like I'm fixated on. I'll probably spend a lot more time with it. So like Funkin is Magic. That's also getting another update because I still love My Little Pony. Colors and Mayhem, that Homestuck mod that I make. That one's probably gonna take a while to make. But it will be pretty sizable, I believe.
Yeah, actually, I've not even read Homestuck. I've heard about it briefly because I played Hive Swap like fucking years ago. I had no idea what Homestuck was. I'm like, this is a cool little game that Jacksepticeye played, and I played it, and I was like, that's that, and then I waited ages for Act 2. Didn't even bother when it came out. Yeah. And like now that I'm seeing like these Homestuck songs you're making, I'm considering to read Homestuck because one of the composers on my team is also like a Homestuck fan. So I'm like I could read Homestuck, but it's like, I don't know, maybe. It's
a pretty interesting comic. One of the most interesting pieces of media that I've consumed lately. So I always recommend it to people.
Have you been like a long Homestuck fan or just like recently?
Very recently, like.
Damn, I thought you were long term.
I was into Hive Swap when it came out. But I didn't really get into the Homestuck aspect of it. I made like 2 remixes of Hive Swap. I liked the characters, but then I kind of slowly fell out of it. And then like when I really got into Homestuck, it was like September. It was like October of last year.
I think your first video wasn't a Homestuck song. Wasn't that far off, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was like 2 Beep 2 Meow was the very first proper Homestuck video I made.
The first one I saw, which was Harley's Heat, which I saw. I actually thought looked pretty interesting.
Oh yeah,
that song a lot. So okay, so question 15. Question 15. What's your favorite mod that you've made?
That I've made?
Yes.
If you would have asked me like last year or 2 years ago. I probably would have said like golf mod.
Mhm.
But my favorite one is definitely Funkin' is Magic.
Yeah, I like the golf one. It's a nice little gimmick. I remember I was pretty
Yeah.
I remember I was pretty impressed when I saw it back then. But Funkin' is Magic, yeah, because you put a lot of time into that. That's like fair enough. So question 16. So what's your favorite song that you've made?
Favorite song
Mhm.
that's released?
I mean, if I said like anything you're making, I don't want to leak anything. So I just see that you like released so far. Yeah.
Yeah, released so far. I'd have to say probably that Solid song that I made a couple months ago, or I know it's definitely like something from Funkin'. No, Toy Boy.
Yeah, the Nagatoro one.
Yeah.
That's a fair one. That's a fair one. Like that and I think it was Sus Pie. Yeah, those two are very good. I think with those two, that's a bit unrelated, but I think like a lot of those two, your art is like really like shown. It's like really improved, but like because of all the lighting and that. I was really impressed when I saw it.
Yeah, it was definitely like Nagatoro was like one. It's like definitely like one of the mods that really showed that I like improved in terms of art, in terms of like composition. It's also when I got my drawing tablet, so
yeah,
I had pen pressure, so my lines actually looked good this time.
Mm-hmm.
And drawing didn't feel like a hassle because with my mouse I was always like making sprites was like
Wait, you didn't have a tablet. You didn't have like a normal tablet. You drew in mouse.
Yeah, I used them all before Nagatoro. I was using a mouse.
I'm not even gonna have time to process that, honestly. I'm just not even gonna fucking bother. Like my advice for anyone who's like using a mouse, I just say don't. It's like a very simple thing.
Like for mouse, you have to have like years of practice in order to like get used to it. Like for me, I didn't even know a tablet existed until like 2013. And I've been drawing with the mouse since like 2008. So I had like 5 years of experience with drawing with a mouse, so it pretty much comes almost naturally to me. But drawing with a pen definitely feels way more better. I get more accurate lines. Although my hands hurt more though, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's really improved. Okay, so question 17. This is moving off of your songs and mods specifically. So 17, what is your favorite FNF song of the whole community or base game?
Of the whole community.
And or base game.
Or base game. I'll give two answers. One for base game, one for mods.
Yeah.
Base game, Philly. Philly is one that I hold near and dear to my heart just because of how fucking well it sounds. In terms of mods, it's like a lot of good ones. I probably could have answered it like I always think like, oh, this is my favorite FNF song.
I can never pick favorites too, so I feel you.
And as soon as I hear like, what's your favorite? Like I completely forget every single song I've listened to. So
would you give like a top 3 maybe, if that helps?
A top 3. I'll have to. Oh, okay. So there's Prankster from Suburban Showtime. Then there's I'm sure I have a playlist. Maybe I can look through my playlist.
Me looking at my 300 FNS song playlist on SoundCloud.
Let's see. I love Melee from Dave and Bambi 2.5. Let's see.
We like Dave and Bambi.
Really hard on this one. This Top Hat.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've started listening to that recently. I think that's a really good song. That's a really new one, so I'm surprised.
I like songs because of just how unique it sounds.
Yeah.
Sporting. I have to say Sporting is one that I keep near and dear to my heart. Sporting. Mostly just because of like, it's basically like the essence of like what made funk modding so beautiful. It was just how niche it was, because you would never hear music like that anywhere else.
Yeah, for better or for worse.
Yeah. I like music. I like music that would like get me bullied in middle school. You know.
I
Makes it all more
I had
special.
to turn my shit down because out of fear that people would hear me, and I have to explain it to them.
Exactly. That's what makes the music so beautiful. Like you don't want people to hear it. If you like explain, if you show this music to like a random person on the street and they don't like look at you funny or turn that shit off, it's probably not good music. I'm just kidding.
It's amazing. So question 18, what's your favorite FNF mod?
My favorite FNF mod.
It's a very generic question, but we had to say it.
Definitely have them downloaded because I usually don't delete mods that I like.
I haven't deleted mine either, and it's a really big folder. It's 50 gigs worth of mods, and I really should delete sometime, but I won't.
So there's Funkmix, which is a really good one. Interview Inc. and Pixel Perfect.
I've never even heard of these two. I thought these were like
They're
really
very-
big mods. Oh god, that's like a supple one.
No, the big mods are good. They're not
Yeah.
my favorites, but like they're very well put together.
What was it called?
Pixel Perfect
I may have seen this. Oh yeah, it's first result.
and Interview Inc.
Oh, it's a recent one. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Interview Inc. I mean, I'm gonna guess Splatoon from what I hear, but I'm probably horribly wrong. No, yeah. I thought Ink with an INK. No.
Oh yeah, no. INC.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I saw a Band Buzz song, and like I think I've seen that one before, maybe. Yeah, so shout out to those two right there. Actually, I'll play that in stream because decent idea. Okay. So, question 19. Is there still an FNF idea you really want to pursue?
Plenty. Part of the reasons why I haven't left the community is because I have too many ideas, and like each comes while I'm doing one idea. Let's see. I have a Shantae mod. I probably won't do one. I just want to see one in existence. So
I like that because like a lot of the music for Shantae is quite nice.
yeah, mods that I want to do. I'd say that homestead mod. I mean, I'm still doing it, so. I know I could probably look through my files. Maybe there's like a mod idea that I just haven't finished. Maybe another OC mod that I have in store. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Any idea that I have, I probably am doing it right now.
But my fucking keyboard.
Splatoon, yes. There was a
Splatoon, yeah.
mod that I was doing.
Yeah, that's
There was a
right. I
Splatoon mod
forgot
I was
about that.
doing. The FLA, it didn't get corrupted, but like. Because I cleared my cache on my computer, and like FL Studio, I recorded like the vocals on FL Studio.
Yeah.
So it saves them on like a temporary, or saves them on like a temporary file. So when I erased the cache, all of those files deleted. So then now there's no voices except for like the last bit, which because there were chromatics. But like the first and second voices were like me just yelling in the mic. Now it's all gone. So I didn't get to export the voices and the instrumental. So
There is that one song. There's that one Splatoon song that's been blowing up right now.
oh yeah, I saw that one. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's Little Booyah. I think it's called, or Booyah something.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Hopefully, got inspiration from you. But if not, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like how simple the art looked. I'm pretty jealous of how simple the art looked because, like, if you saw the art that I was doing, it had like a shit ton of shading, a lot of detail, and it's probably one of the reasons why I didn't continue it was because I was like, very daunting. You have to put that detail in like all the sprites.
Yeah, because like with
Maybe some
Nagator,
simple like
with like Nagator, you went full fucking out and like everything. Then like in Heathers, it's like back to just like flat colors.
Yeah,
But actually, I like it though, because like beckoning's good for the lighting wise. I like Harley's Heat with like its simple colors. Like it's still really good. I think that's more of the Homestuck style though, maybe.
yeah. I actually based that off the Hive Swap style, where it had like lineless insides but like a really thick black outline.
Yeah. So we'll move on from there. So to question 20, is there any mod that you want to give a shout out here? Just for like the boost.
Shout out.
Yes. The BBpanzu shout out.
I'm always shouting out these Homestuck mods because I feel like more people should know about them. So Sunday Night Strifin'.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to that.
Bring that up, Manuel.
Sunday Night Striden. That one was kind of canceled, but the build. got released, and it's pretty cool. Let's see, versus Vriska. That one's still in development, but I'm always rooting for it. It was, I think, one of the first Homestuck mods to be in development, but hasn't really gotten anywhere. But I'm hoping it will.
Is that it?
Yeah. Wait. If I don't say this, I'll get in trouble. Lo-Fi Funkin.
Yes.
Shout out to Lo-Fi Funkin.
Lo-Fi Funkin's pretty cool. Actually, I played that on stream. That's how fucking like recent it was. No, not recent.
Yeah.
I played it on stream, and I do not have the VOD because I never saved the VODs. So I should at some time. So question 21. So what are your thoughts on people calling you like the avatar of the community? Because you can do like art, animation, music, coding, basically do everything. So you're like the avatar.
That's a pretty creative nickname. The Avatar.
You've properly been the thinker over this one.
I feel like the Avatar, I think, would be like the master of all elements.
Yeah,
For me, I feel
like
like the fact that I can do everything kind of limits every like aspect of what I can do. I know if I only focused on music, I could be a fucking banger musician. Some people call me banger musician, but I feel like I could be extremely fucking talented. But then my art would suck. So, but like with art, I feel like if I focused on art, then my music would suck ass.
Yeah.
And if I focused on like programming, I mean, programming, you can't really be untalented with programming because it's pretty much the only skills that you can learn without having like a creative. I mean, you can be creative with programming, but a lot of programming you can always just learn by yourself. You don't need like practice with it. Like a lot of it's just copy pasting and then remembering why it works, and then yeah.
There's the whole thing of like jack of all trades, master of none. Like personally, like I really wanted to get better things. Like I do art, I do voice acting, I do like coding. I got a uni for coding, which I just started like in September of 2021. 2022, I'm so stupid. It's 2022, not 2021. Fuck me. But 2022, I went to university for coding. And I just came out for my first semester, but I've been doing art since 2020, which I'm horrible at. I think I'll send art later on. And I do voice acting, which I started like last year, and I have like a whole reel on it now. Yeah. And like with that, it's like, and I want to cover so many of these grounds. I want to be like, I want to make my own games, and like I can do all this myself. But it's like I'm not gonna be like a master at all. So I think maybe when I kind of step away from the FNF community, I might just focus on like a specific like couple of things maybe. Because I won't be modding for FNF anymore, so I won't have to like look into like how the game works and what to do for this and the sprites and like the health bars and the fucking shaders and this and that essentially. Question 20. Question 22. What was the hardest asset to make in the mod? So when I say asset, I mean like it's like basically like art, animation, and music, but you can say code as well if you want to, like a mechanic.
Okay. Hardest aspect for me, it's the art and the animation. Those take the longest times. Like for sprites, if I don't take any breaks, I'll probably like spend like about a week at most. But for music, I kind of get it done the day I start. So what ends up happening is that like I have an idea for a mod, and then like I accidentally make like what 10 songs all in like 10 days. But like I only have one sprite done for one of them. The other one's like not even halfway done, and then I realized I'm gonna have to make sprites for all of these. That was like a thing with Funkin is Magic, where a lot of the songs I made, I realized I have to make sprites for these. So there's some things that got cut for the first update because I didn't have the sprites done, and if I were to get the sprites done, it would take fucking forever. So I was like, let me just release what I have now.
So if we're gonna go off of like art and animation here, what was like the hardest sprite to make? I was gonna guess Nagatoro because of how detailed it was, but it could be anything else.
Yeah, that one actually didn't take that long. You're talking about the first sprite, right?
I actually meant Suspie, to be honest, because
Suspie.
Yeah, I should have specified.
That one I wouldn't really consider hard. It definitely was like tedious because of how much detail it was, and I had to that could count for like, you know, the lighting and such. I'd say the hardest sprites, like in terms of difficulty, it was Sky Blue sprite in Blue.
Yeah, because she had a lot of like, a lot going on in her animation. I'm not gonna say what fucking was. That's just, I'm not gonna make an obvious boobs joke here, but I mean in terms of like hair and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's the hair, there's the cross hat, there's like the hatching, the hatching shading stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I was making it, I was trying to see if I can do a shortcut where I just like take a portion of her skin, just scribble on the inside of it just to make an illusion of cross hatching. But it looked ugly and lazy, and I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have to do it right. So I spent like hours just like cross hatching every single shading, like with a thin brush, making sure the lines are straight, because the lines had to be straight. Because if they were curved, then it would look out of place. So those sprites definitely took the longest to make for me. It was definitely the hardest.
Yeah. Question 23. So what did you do for Psych Engine when you were involved? This can be like when the Psych Engine was being made, any updates, things like that.
Okay. So when I was on Psych Engine, what I did, so the vortex charting mode, that was me. Because I know a lot of people like to chart in Air Vortex. They didn't like to chart in Funkin because it was like a lot of clicking, quality of life didn't feel streamlined. So I implemented a lot of Vortex features into like base Funkin or like Psych Funkin, just so like you don't have to go to Air Vortex, chart everything, and then have to go through the process of converting it to a chart, then putting it in Funkin, and then if something you need to change, then you have to go all the way back to Air Vortex, and then change that, and then reconvert it, and then so I pretty much just cut out the middleman and just put Vortex in Friday Night Funkin' with like all the arrow functions and stuff, all the quantization charting with the numbers charting and stuff like that. Because I know K-Engine had something like that, but a lot of people didn't like it because of how different it was from like the base game. Because like with base game, you know, you have like a grid.
Yes.
Each grid was like for an arrow. But like with K-Engine, it had the grid, but the notes didn't adhere to the grid. It just adhered to like its strum time. So when you're mouse clicking, charting felt fucking awful and nobody liked it. That's why everyone used Aero Vortex, because it felt more cleaner and it felt more streamlined. So it was basically just what I liked about Psych Engine is how it took the parts of what people liked about modding, enhanced it, streamlined it, and then took what people didn't like about modding, you know.
Yeah, like a lot of the hard coding, because like with like I couldn't even fucking dream of making backgrounds in K-Engine and shit. Let alone even like songs. There's like the beak editor, and there's like the character editor, and it's like
a lot of things in K-Engine. Like I think K-Engine at the time was the most standardized engine. Everyone used it because that's just what everyone was used to. And it was mostly focused on people who were playing Friday Night Funkin' rather than people who were making shit for Friday Night Funkin'.
Yeah.
So a lot of the features that K-Engine had were like, you know, it had
like a lot of options.
It had a lot of options, a lot of modifications, a lot of mods, like the speed mods and like all that other stuff. So when you were modding Psych Engine, when you were modding K-Engine, you were filled with like a bunch of shit that you didn't even care about, a bunch of features that like maybe 6 people used, and like it was very stressful to move around when you were adding stuff. It felt like you were just placing a book on top of like a pile of clothes, like a pile of clothes and trash and stuff. Those features were cool, but like only some people used them.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people didn't like K-Engine. And because it updated so frequently, a lot of mods had to port their mods to the newer version, which wasn't as easy as it seemed. Like if you had it connected to a GitHub, then you could obviously just like say like, okay, bring new code in, merge it, so that way I can cut out some shit, and then like it'll update with the engine. A lot of mods didn't use GitHub. It just used like the source code just straight up. But with Psych Engine, because it offered so many like quality of life for modding, like a lot of the things were soft coded. So if the engine did want to update, you could update Psych Engine, and then it had very good like backwards compatibility. So if you wanted to move your old shit to the new engine, you could, and it would work perfectly. and updating it. You could update it with a build, you could update it through GitHub, and it didn't feel tiresome. And a lot of the code was like very organized and optimized. So like when you wanted to edit the play state, there was a specific section where like, okay, you can edit there, and then everything else felt fine. It didn't feel bloated. It felt lightweight. It felt well-rounded. It had like all the necessities that you needed, and it didn't take up like a lot of RAM on your computer. So it was very easy on like lower end computers.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digressed a lot. So the reason I took that aspect of PsychEngine, of how like cute it was and how cool and streamlined everything was, and I took Air Vortex, I put that in the charting menu, and I also made it an option to turn on. So that way, if you do want to use like Friday Night Funkin's original charting system, you could. And if you want to use Aero Vortex charting system, you could. And the Aero Vortex system felt like Aero Vortex in Friday Night Funkin', and that's one thing that needs to change. But I'll take this opportunity to tell Shadow Mario, there's the bug in PsychEngine that I keep bugging you about that you need to fix. It's about the chart menu quantization. It fucks up when you change the game's offset. So yeah, I already sent you a message on how to fix it. If you could please put that in, that would be fantastic. Anyway, what else did I do with Psych? When I was in Psych,
Wasn't there shader stuff?
the shader stuff. Initially, I did like a lot of shader work, but it was implemented really poorly, and I knew it was implemented poorly. So like at the time, I thought like, okay, I want chromatic abrasion. I think that'd be a cool thing to add into PsychEngine. And then I was like, okay, maybe some other effects, like a this effect, or a shader effect, or like a this effect. And then after a while, I was reading, okay, I'm adding a lot of shaders. If there was a way to where like the game could just read a shader off a text file instead of having a bunch of preset shaders that you can only pick from, it would feel a lot less bloated. I did find a way. There was already a library about that. So I tried to implement the library into PsychEngine. That's what got me kicked off, mostly because like a lot of what I was doing was like porting other people's code into PsychEngine because I thought it would be useful, and it would be really useful. Like the texture atlas, that was me. I implemented that in Psych, so that way you can use texture atlases for your PsychEngine mods, so you didn't have to like go find the other library. You could just have it in a vanilla in Psych. So I added that shit in, but I used Smokey's code, so I credited Smokey for it. And then the code that I used for the shader, like the external shaders, I think was made by a guy who really hated PsychEngine. I think Shadow Mario knew that, and since he didn't want any like drama about it, I think he was like, all right, no more, you're scaring me. And I was like, yeah. And me and Shadow Mario's workflow, like our methods of working are very different. So I understood that like my way of working wasn't like the best for PsychEngine.
Yeah.
Especially the shader code. I knew the shader code was very unoptimized. It is very bloated, and I knew like there was definitely a better way to do it than go on Lua. Add CRT effect, add shader effect, add scanline effect. And I was like, what else did I do? I know I did something. I tried to implement custom achievements. It sort of worked, but there was like apparently some bug that was happening, so that was removed. What else? I know like a lot of things I added was for Holiday Mod, so I can probably just remember what I added in Holiday Mod, and that's pretty much what I added. Keyboard inputs, I think, like the fact that the keyboard, like the Lua can detect the space bar. Yeah, that was me. I just needed the space bar.
Yippee.
And I think also the mouse, like Lua can also detect mouse. I think that wasn't in there before, so I added that shit in. But yeah, I think that's all I added in PsychEngine.
Yeah, that was for the Tom song. Yeah, Demolition. Where you can shoot his thing, and I said, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I remember playing that. I remember the fucking that I was super finicky. Like you'd hit him like 1,000 times and then nothing would happen.
Yeah, I think it's like when I first uploaded it, I forgot to account for like people's frame rate. So I was making it in like I think 60 FPS or 144 FPS, I believe. And so like the code worked better in like higher frame rates. But for some people who had like 60 FPS, the code worked slower. So it took more shots to kill Tom for people who had lower frame rate, but it didn't give enough time for those shots to register. So that's why, like, for a lot of people, it felt impossible. But yeah, I fixed that in the later update, but
Oh, we will move on now. That's a fucking long ass response. But question 24: will you ever make that part 2 for the Psych Engine tutorial? Because you made a part 1. I think it was October or December of 2021, I believe. It was like part 1. I was like watching the tutorial for the first time because I was trying to learn how to do it. I'm like, where's this part 2 coming? And like, it just never came. So like, are you ever gonna make that?
Honestly, I might make just a general better tutorial because Psych Engine also updates. It doesn't update as frequently, but it does update, meaning the tutorials will end up being outdated.
Yeah,
some things will change, especially with this next Psych update. It's going to change a lot of things. I think to the point where like it'll have to sacrifice backwards compatibility. So like if I were to make one right now, it would be outdated in a matter of months, a matter of weeks.
Is this the experimental build that Shadowbody was talking about?
Yeah.
I've not actually seen much of that. Could you describe like one feature that's like different, like really different from like Psych Engine we have right now?
I haven't really looked much into it like I used to, so I can't really remember off the top of my head. But apparently there's better controller support. There's like some hack scripts. Better shits. I think there's a custom state. A lot of like the source code is like organized now, so they're in folders rather than just one big source folder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of things that's changed is just like organization.
Yeah,
everything's like
source code stuff.
Yeah. So when it comes to porting, you'd have to like organize a lot of shit now.
Yeah, I get that. So question 25: did you ever have the idea of making your own engine, or like was the site just do that for you and I was like, okay, before you even came up with the idea?
If you look a long time ago, I was making like a Kate Engine fork that had better mod support, which was basically what Psych Engine was pretty much doing.
Yeah.
So after I learned about Psych Engine, I was like, there's not really more point to continuing this engine because Psych Engine already does everything that I need to do.
That's a question that I've just thought of on the fly, but what do you think of like the other engines, like the Forever Engine, the Yoshi Engine, Codename Engine?
They all have certain aspects about them that make them really unique. Like Kate Engine is definitely like a competitive rhythm game engine, so it's mostly built for people who like play rhythm games competitively. So it has all those features for like players, which is why like Kate Engine is more player focused than creator focused or modder focused. Psych Engine is a lot more modder focused than player focused. So like you can make mods easier in Psych Engine, but it has like arguably less competitive ratings. I'd agree that it's a lot less.
It's way more for it's way more for like the general public rather than like the
yeah. It's way more better for casuals, but in my opinion, I think it's like extremely forgiving when it comes to scores. Like with Kate Engine, even if you had ghost tapping off, you could at least feel a challenge of a song. But I feel like with Psych Engine, even the hardest songs you could kind of cheese through, not even with spamming. Either maybe I'm getting good or
no. I feel you because see the new Hex update. Well, I said new, but the latest Hex update, the weekend update, and then there was like Zardy. With those two, like I can't even do them on Kate Engine, and I probably never will. But I can do a lot of Psych Engine mods. I can do the majority of them. I'll actually list you. The only mods that I actually can't do, and I put them in a fucking folder, right? It's called Fnfmods to be finished. I've got Funk Mix DX because me and Manuel are both stuck in the Bullet Bill song. Indie Cross, I've got to do Despair. I'll do it eventually. There's so many fucking mechanics that I can't even register. Speed.gif, I've got to do the what's the song called? It's Control Loaded. I gotta do that, and then there's Void. I actually really like Void. I like it a lot. But fucking Singularity. Oh god, I think that's Key Engine. I'm pretty sure. I think yeah, that's Key Engine. Void's Key Engine.
Wow.
Singularity is very good, but it's really hard because there's so much. It's the health train. It's always a fucking health train, right? Okay, another sidetrack, right? Manuel knows this because he's in the fucking story, right? I spent 6 months beating Xanta.
Jesus.
I spent a long time because of the fucking health train, and it was one specific bit. I can't tell you it because I'm not gonna sing it for you, right? But it was a specific bit, and this is when like me and Manuel like were just like become literal. We did know each other for a little bit, but this is when like we're getting closer to each other, right? And I remember one time I just spammed his DMs with like fuck this song, fucking Xanta, piss shit, fucking arsehole, and he was like, "Are you okay, Wonders?" And I'm like, "I fucking hate this, fuck this," and then I just started like slagging my desk, like, "Fuck this." And he was just go take a break, and I'm like, "Fine." And I went off. I tried again, and I went off, and I tried again, and I kept going. It was the health train, and I even installed a Dave and Bambi mod of Xanta just for variation. I turned off the HUD, I turned off the visual, I did the whole lot. It's like troubleshooting, but with an FNF So I did all that, and then I finally did it, and I was so happy. I am never gonna do Singularity, never. But yeah, that's the story of fucking Xanta. Like I hope you're proud that I struggled on a fucking song that much, and you made it. But to be fair,
It does make me proud.
to be fair, it's a very good song. I do love Xantha.
It is
a lot.
It's one of my favorite songs that I composed.
So question 26. So do you prefer Lua or source code?
Lua.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
I thought you would say that.
Yeah. Source code is, I think, it's definitely less limiting because, you have the entire API to work with. But with Lua, you can only work with what the game gives you. So, but luckily the game gives you enough to where it doesn't feel limiting as much like it used to. The fact that it lets you make hacks code in Lua, so that pretty much already opens up an entire vault of possibilities. So.
Yeah, I'm a very beginner coder, so I know Java from my university, right? But besides that, I have only been using Lua to mod. I've got my own mod, right? So my Twitter fucking bio is like, oh, I'm the mod on Cartoonshi, wow, the YouTuber, so on and so forth, right? But yeah, it's an objectively opinionated Funkin, basically. Mod on Cartoonshi, mod on his friends, shows he reviewed like Hell of a Boss, Owl House. You retweeted that. I remember that. It was I think usually, and I went in your DMs. I was like, oh, thank you so much for blessing me with this. It was cringe as fuck. I remember when I was DMing you for this interview, and I saw that, and I was like, ah, that's so fucking cringe. But yeah, but I appreciate that. I think I got like a few musicians from that. I didn't pick any of them up, but I got some people auditioning, and it was super cool. But anyway, as I was saying. With Lua, I've been coding that. I've been coding the mod in Lua, and it is quite simple. I think it's a bit too simple at times because the only part I really don't like is there's no switch cases. So for example, I make a camera lock feature where I'm locked to one certain position. So I do a for loop. I do a what's it called? If I've done an if statement, then another if statement, and I made a tweet one time. It was I think it was 11 if statements, and then Manuel looked at that and said, "You're literally just Yandere dev." I'm like, oh fuck, man. But I'm like, you know what? It works. It's fine as long as there's no memory shit. I'm fine. But it's a really simple language though, so I've gotten quite far with it. I do get help from the Psych Engine Discord server, obviously, and I can't go bad over it. But I am learning with that.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to get a good start on coding through Lua because I can do it fairly simply, and even with the hate script, it's quite nice.
Yeah, A scripts. So I always liked the hot. I call it hot compiling, pretty much. The just-in-time compilers. So you have the Lua, you have the H script. I like those because you don't have to recompile the entire game just to test that one piece of code. You can always just restart that level and then see if it works. If it doesn't, then just change it again.
That's literally just value changing for the fucking backgrounds. I swear to God, I would have lost my shit if I did that with compiling. But with Lua, I can just reset it. I'm like, oh, the backgrounds looking good now. So like it was really, really good. So moving on.
yeah.
So question 27. What other interests do you have outside of FNF? Now I've kind of brushed over like Homestuck, MLP, but like, I mean, is there anything else?
I like Broadway musicals. I like
Yeah, it's like
Hamilton,
Heather's.
Show stuff. Yeah, Heather's. Let's see. I watch cartoons all the time.
Yeah.
So I like Moon Girl. I was really big on the Owl House.
Yes.
I didn't get to watch Amphibia, but I know that's one of the ones I'm planning on watching.
Amphibia's
So,
good. Amphibia's good.
Yeah.
That's actually getting a song in my mod. Ooh.
Oh, hell yeah.
The promotion, the self-promotion.
see it.
It'll come out eventually. Me and Manny are working on it. Manny's the main artist. So you were saying, fuck, sorry. I interrupted you.
Actually, that was pretty much it. I just like cartoons and Broadway musicals.
Yeah. So we're actually getting close to the end here. So question 28. Would you work on any indie games if you were given the chance? So yeah, I don't have to clarify.
Indie games? Yeah. If I were given the chance, I think it'd have to be like I like indie projects, so I'm always like hopping on some of them. Like if someone asked me to make music for an indie game, I'd definitely be down for it because I like making music for worlds and stuff.
Yeah.
And for characters and stuff like that. Someone asked me for programming, probably not, because like that's
a lot of work.
very investing.
Yeah.
I think the programming would be like if would have to be the job of like the actual creator, because they're way more invested in their project than like the musician. Artists, I'd probably do like commissions. Like I'd probably be like asked to be paid for like those indie projects. But yeah, unless if it's like with my friends, then I'm pretty much down to do whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Would you ever make your own indie game?
I actually made a couple. Some of them are on Game Jolt. Some of them are on Newgrounds. I made one with friends for the Newgrounds Flash Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Go Go Cupid. I made it with Dojima Dog, Jordan Price. I made it with what was it, Garbo, Phantoms, and then me.
Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool then. So that's the last question I've got here. So this is gonna like the another question. It's kind of like hyped up, but it's like, what will you do after you leave the FNF community? Which you said before, like you'll be staying for a while because you've got a lot of ideas. But let's see hypothetically you do. Like, what would you do?
From the looks of it, it'd probably be just like doing other fandom shit, like maybe like a Homestuck thingy. I always like making things for communities because I like to make people like surprised what they do. So if I ever leave the FNF community, it would probably be because I'm super interested in something else. So there's never going to be a point in time where I'm going to be like announcing my departure, because I know a lot of people like to do that. They'll like announce that they're leaving the FNF community. I never really got that, because like, how do you...
Yeah, they post a tweet and just never see the word FNF ever again.
Yeah, I never really got that, because like, one, you have a bunch of friends who are like in the FNF community, and like if you're talking with them, like, I hate to break it to you, but you still are in the FNF community. I feel like if you're gonna leave a community, you'd have to like cut off a lot of people. You'd have to change your entire feed, your entire like
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's more something that kind of like drifts naturally. FNF is a game, right? But that's a whole community. Let's see something like Dead by Daylight, right? Which is like a personal thing to me, where like, I'd play the game. And I'd slowly, like, just drift away from it. I'd play less matches, kind of engage in it less, and just stop playing it eventually. You just see, like, last played in your Steam. So it's more gradual.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's always going to be a gradual thing. Like, with me and Smash Bros, I was, like, super big on Smash Bros back in high school. But I slowly lost interest in it because I found way more and fun projects to do. I played it less with my friends because they started doing other things, too. So it's one of those slow things. So like, you're never gonna be like, all right, I'm quitting. I'm never playing this again. Like, there was my friend who like one day, I was like, right then when it happened, like he just up and left the Smash Bros. He was like, I'm never playing. I can't play Smash anymore. It's not good for me. And then he just like kind of just played other games. But because he had like friends who were also into those other things, it didn't feel like he was forcing himself to leave.
Yeah.
So like when I see a lot of these people who are like, I'm leaving the FNF community, it's hard to do that because a lot of your friends are in the FNF community. And in order to leave the community, you'd have to leave your friends. Unless if your friends are doing something else, then you'll find it pretty much impossible to not interact with FNF. Well, I noticed a lot of people who said that I'm leaving the community. They've came back in like 2 weeks because they realized like there's nothing else for them.
There are like people though who thing is, I will give like actual like regards to people who have seen a lot on the FNF community. Let's see any drama stuff, right? Let's say like, should I name names? It's like well, obvious ones. We'll do the obvious ones. Like they've been like old stuff. Let's say like sock.clip, right? With like weighted stuff, and they're gone, they're gone for good, right? That's when like they actually like it's a better choice because of all the harassment, which was stupid as hell. All the harassment they got over Witty and Tabby and that whole drama, and basically that's when that's fine. And they just took a step back. They didn't like. I mean, did they announce it? I mean, they just want a step back and they slowly drift away from it, I suppose, or they just like gone. But it was for their own good.
I think with Sockclip, Sockclip, I feel like. Since I think a lot of the community was on Twitter, and I think if you're on Twitter, or Reddit, or in those subreddits, or in those Twitter communities, you're definitely in the community. With Sock, it's like she'll make stuff not for Friday Night Funkin', but for herself. So like with Witty, or not with Witty, but like with Boy and Girl, I wouldn't really say that she fell back into the FNF community because she's not interacting with anyone outside of her own friend group, with like Nate, some of her friends like 8-Bit. Like those are her friends, not because of Funkin', but because they just have a connection that's beyond just FNF. They talk about other things, they play other games. So if they were to not do Funkin' anymore, they wouldn't feel like they lost a part of who they are.
Yeah.
For me, however, I can't just like say like I'm quitting FNF because a lot of my friends are people in the FNF community. Yeah. And a lot of the servers I'm in are like FNF centric. So if I were to leave, I'd have to completely leave all those friend groups. And then like some people I've heard they were saying that like, okay, I'm leaving the FNF community and I'm switching to this other community. I remember some people were like, I'm moving to the Scratching Melody community. Which I found like kind of pathetic because it kind of just it definitely showed that they were like, they weren't leaving Funkin'. They just wanted another Funkin', but without the drama. So when they quote unquote moved to Scratch and Melody, they just kind of made an OC and like made an OC. They tweeted about the game, but like there isn't really a community for Scratch and Melody yet. Yeah, and unless if you're constantly tweeting about it.
Yeah, like the demo is really good, and like we love Scratch and Melody. I think it's really good, like successor to like Parappa the Rapper, that kind of stuff. But it's not like huge as Funkin' yet.
Yeah, it's like being in the community for like, I won't say Scott Pilgrim, but like being in the community of Pen Pals Forever. Like that show hasn't come out yet. We've only seen a Kickstarter. There's not much to say about it. So like people who saw Scratch and Melody as this alternative FNF, they were like, okay, I'm gonna move to that. That's gonna be my thing. I'm gonna invest in that, and then they create stuff for it. And then they like realize like, oh, maybe I wasn't as big on this as I thought. I love Scratch and Melody. I wouldn't move to Scratch and Melody because that's not a thing that you do. You don't move to things. You join things that you like, that you're a part of. And like whether or not people want to believe it or not, they like Friday Night Funkin'. Like despite what you think about the community, despite everything, you are an FNF fan, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, there's separate things because people can like judge. I'm making this go even longer, but it's like I always like think of like the fandom and the thing of the or opposite. So I say like My Hero Academia. I love My Hero Academia. I love it a lot. Yeah. I'm not wearing the shirt, but I would have it. I'm wearing a Steven Universe shirt right now, for example, right? And because I love Seamers, I love fucking. Like, I love the characters in Seamers. I love Spinel, the best character. But, like, the community is, like, Jesus Christ. And then like, Undertale as well. Like, Undertale is one of the best, probably one of the best RPGs of all time, one of the best games of all time. But the community, not very good. And it goes like that. And FNF, all the drama. There's even a fucking Twitter account counting the days without drama. It's up to 3. Yeah. And it's like it can be exhausting with all the EXE stuff, that, but it's like I do love all the mods. I love making the mods. I love the base game, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So That's all the questions I've got in the list, but I thought of some bonus questions as you were talking there. There's one that I forgot beforehand that I was going to say that, again, I forgot. So this is question 30 technically. Well, I mean, there's 30 and thinking there's 0.5, but bonus question 1. Are there any mod teams you really want to join?
You want to join?
Yeah.
I think I saw one earlier, but I totally forgot. If anything, it'd probably have to be like maybe one of those smaller ones. I've never really liked
yeah,
imagining joining like some like Versus Imposter or
yeah.
like Hypno, because those already have enough people as it is. You know, they already have all the talent that they need. So if I was gonna join one, it'd probably be anyone who's like looking for like I'd say Sunday Night Strident. That one is fun because the reason why it got canceled was because a lot of the musicians didn't work on it as much.
Yeah.
And I know if I was on there, I'd definitely accidentally make all the songs for them and such like that.
Yeah.
Any mod that probably needs something that from me, I'll probably do it. So those are my teams that I joined. I wouldn't join like Sonic EXE. I was in it briefly.
Yeah, you made Malediction.
First song. Yeah, I made Malediction.
I was way off in the pronunciation.
Yeah.
Oh, I made part of it.
So that. The original song was made by Uptaunt. He asked me for a collab, but I ended up making like 60% of the song because they liked it a lot, and I was like, yeah. So a lot of Malediction was.
I always like wondered what you thought of that, like what you think of that now, because of all the curse drama and the EXE drama and this and that, and like, I
never really think about like all I know is that like apparently those two are bad people. Like that's what I've heard. So I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly. So I'm not gonna say anything that I don't know about.
Yeah.
But I like Malediction.
Yeah.
From what I made of it, like when the drama started popping up about like who got to use it or who could use it. So there were people from like Illegal Instruction who wanted to use it. And then I was like, sure, okay, that's Uptaunt. And then like there are people being like, you can't let Illegal Instruction use it because they're bad people. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's like,
and then there were some people who were like, no, now Malediction is made by this other person. I was like, this is
like I'm not keeping tabs of this.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll just make songs and like I'll just give it to whatever mod team needs it. They can do whatever they want with it. Whoever has it. I don't own it anymore.
That's like your perks of being a solo model, because like everything you make is yourself, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. So like I'm never really heavy on like, I know like some people are heavy on like, you can't use this song. You can't have the FLP. Everything I make is for people to have. Yes. So if you want to have it, then go ahead and have it.
Yeah, because like recently as well, like I think it was the day after, the day before we recorded this, which was on May 29th, Lord X, Faker, Curse, I think got banned. I got banned off Game Banana. There's a lot of story about that and Rerun. I'm not going to comment on that because we don't want to start up drama, but it happened. And so that's like really big right now in the community.
Oh yeah, I remember when I saw that happen, I was like, it was a wild thing because like, like believe it or not, it's a big deal. Like EXE is like, whether you love it or hate it, it's a big part of the community. So like seeing that banned off Game Banana is definitely gonna stir some controversy.
It's gonna get some people talking.
Yeah, like at first it was just Xenophanes. Was that a mess?
Xenophanes. But I'm pretty sure, at least I don't want someone saying actually it's Xenophanes, and I'm like, oh sorry.
I've heard people say, I think Xenophanes sounds like an actual name than Xenophanes, but
to be fair,
I'll just say Xeno or something.
Yeah, just say Xeno for simplicity.
When I heard he got banned off Game Banana, I was like, oh wow. That's like the Sonic EXE.
Yeah.
So, and then after a while, I heard like Lord X, this EXE and that EXE, and I'm like, whoa, what happened?
Well,
I didn't really look into it.
Never? Or like not much. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it, so I don't know why they got banned or.
Oh damn.
I know one of my friends, they created Slash. So they said that they took their thing off Game Banana.
You're fucking clean then. Like you've not looked at all like the I won't name who made it, but the big like lies of the EXE community video and the drama and all the Discord messages got read through and all of this and that, and it's like I'm surprised you're not looked into it much. I mean that's good for your health because like it's not really like your thing. It's not like your business, and it's like well I see that in a rude way, and it's not. I mean like you don't need to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't even watch like FNF drama YouTube videos unless if it's for like a specific like a lot of YouTube drama videos are just about like, oh, the FNF community is doing this, here's what's happening here, and a lot of it doesn't really concern me. So like a lot of the EXE stuff, I don't really care too much about it.
That's a really good mindset to have. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah. So I'm like really lost when it comes to like the EXE drama. So unless if I just see like a retweet on Twitter, that's pretty much all the information I get from it.
Yeah.
Because like I don't really bother looking into it since there's never gonna be a time where I need to know why the Great Destroyer .png is gonna be banned off Game Banana, because I'm never going to play the Great Destroyer .png on Game Banana.
PNG.
I know a lot of people care about EXE, so I can understand why they would care about this a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what it'll mean for the community. My guess is that people will just make their EXE mods on Game Jolt.
Yeah.
Because Game Jolt doesn't have any of those bans.
Yeah.
But Game Banana is pretty much the hub of FNF modding. So.
Speaking of drama, kind of. I'll go into my next bonus question, which is I'm asking this, and it's really unlikely because you work yourself, but is any mods you've been working on or made kind of have been leaked on like 4chan or like Twitter or anything else? Have been leaked essentially?
Yes.
Oh,
the blue mod.
That's right. Yeah, because there's like beta versions of the song in that.
Yeah, that was the first ever thing of mine that's ever gotten leaked. I like to tell the story about it. Basically, so this is back when me and Kitsune were cool. This was back when Kitsune I thought was a cool person. So one day when the whole Sky Blue thing was popping up on Twitter, I was like, what if I made like a Sky Blue and like a New Sky song for funsies? And so I made it for funsies. And then I posted it in the original Sky server because I didn't know it was like a public server because I had to be invited, so it wasn't a public server. So when I posted it there, I just kind of went to sleep, and then one day I was with my girlfriend and my other friend just on Discord, and I was telling them like, guys, look how ghetto Funk G is, and I was just scrolling, and then I saw that Sky Blue sprite that I made, and I'm like, wait a minute, I did get there. And apparently like someone in the Sky server goes on Funk G and they like shared it around. Yeah, so that's the first time my mods ever gotten leaked, and I knew it wouldn't be leaked by like a team member because I'm the only one who's worked on my stuff. But that's the first time that I like showed off, so that was an oopsie of mine. The second mod that's been leaked was the eye-catching one. That one's a funnier story.
I can only think of the Sky one, to be honest. Well, I didn't know I got leaked. Actually, no, I kind of know I got leaked because I see like the beta song, but I don't know anything else has been leaked. So like, let's go for it.
Yeah, the eye-catching one. So I recorded like the eye-catching song just so I could show all my friends. The reason why it got leaked all started because I put a cameo of my friend in the song. So then when I posted the video, I think my friend was talking to another guy, saying like, "Hey, I'm in an FNF mod. Look."
No, and then because another guy, another guy,
video, and then somehow it spread to a Minecraft 1 server, and then got to Derpixen himself, and then one day I just saw it on Twitter. It's a very odd Monday when that happened.
Yeah. I think that's all the questions I have. Manuel, do you have any questions? Please still be there. Just do a fucking sound if you're still there, Manuel. I'm gonna give him like 10 seconds to give a question or make a sound or anything. No. God damn it, Manuel. Okay. So that'll He's here. Okay, do you have a question? Do you have a question to ask BBpanzu?
Not really, but hi.
Actually, while we're here, I may as well just give this the background to this interview as well. Basically, I mean, I'll probably say this like in the intro of the video, but what happened is, and we can cut this out, we can cut this part of the video if you want, Manuel. Is what happened was we were deciding who to interview after we did Tails Gets Trolled, and which happened from them joining our stream, and we just brought up the idea. And we were like, oh, who should we interview next? I'm like, oh, maybe like Hell of a Boss Funkin, or like, let's just say Super Funkin Galaxy. I really want to do Jake Neutron. That's my one big one I really want to do, but it's really hard to contact him. So Jake Neutron, if you're here. but he follows Manuel, he doesn't follow me though. But anyway, as I was saying, it was like, and Manuel was like, oh, you should try BBpanzu, and I'm like, what are the fucking odds he'd respond to that? Nil. But he insisted, so I just DM you saying, hey, and I give all my nice little chatter, like, you want to interview? And you said, sounds fire, I'm interested. And I'm like, okay, we're doing this then, and we're here. So
I legit told her, shoot your shot. Like, you're not gonna nothing's gonna happen. Like, the worst you could say is probably no or something.
Yeah.
And look where we are.
Look where we are. This is insane. That was the background, and now we're here. Thank you so much for joining us. That was super cool. Everything should be fine recorded wise, Manuel. I've just realized like the audio is like 8 decibels lower than my mic, so that's probably fine.
Probably.
We wouldn't that bad. Actually, I forgot to take off my stream thing, but yeah. But thank you so much for having us, for being on here and being our second interview, but not the last.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's super cool. So that'll be us at the end of the day. I'm not even gonna record an outro, but I'll do it one right here saying, yeah, but thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you. The recording is done.